Hey, welcome to the BPM Method podcast. I'm your host, Depesh Mandalia, founder of the BPM Method. I'm really excited to share with you the story of going back 2 years of kind of how Damon's come through from where he was and where he is now and where he actually wants to get to, which is really, really exciting. So as always, we're going to show you the path, talk you through the success that our clients are making through the BPM Method, and hopefully help you build the path as well. So first of all, Damon, thanks for joining us. So tell us a bit about kind of who you are and what you do.
Yep. So my name is Damon. Again, I'm 23, graduated school studying business administration. And I got my start in ecom right after I graduated. I knew online business was definitely what I wanted to do to some capacity, but I had to learn Facebook ads. I had to learn about marketing and how to build out these funnels. So I went down, YouTube rabbit holes of how to do this stuff. But eventually came across your free Facebook group, and then eventually learned about the 4-funnel system and some of the things that are in the BPM method. And it kind of all clicked to me. So since then, I've been able to start up 2 stores, both scaling to 7 figures. The second one that I recently had more or less a case study on was probably like my biggest hit. Very quickly, we scaled to 7 figures in around, it was like 900 grand in around 5 months all in. So relatively quick and pretty profitable as well. And now we're about to start up another brand, just trying to keep the ecosystem rolling. But I'm pretty much all in with ecom at this point, and I'm more than grateful to be getting this information from Depesh and his team.
Awesome. So you said you started off in 2019. How did you get started?
Yeah, I would say it's similar to how most people do. They want to learn how do you make money online. And then I came across drop shipping. I already had an idea about running businesses when I was younger. Like I used to sell duct tape wallets. So I always kind of been that entrepreneur to some capacity. But it was just after a little while of like trying to find people to learn from, just through YouTube videos and things like that, I started to realize there's a disconnect in like business principles and then just trying to hack the Facebook algorithm. And I went to school. I'm grateful I was able to go to school, so I can kind of weed out who's false and who's real to some capacity. So coming across your information, it was kind of a no-brainer, and I knew right away. Okay, he knows what he's talking about. These principles make a ton of sense. So then I just started working with. I think I got the CBO cookbook initially, and then I got into the first version of the BPM method, and then the second version released. And then now I'm in Elite, so it works out.
Amazing. So what was the kind of big win that you shared with us? Just give us a few insights into kind of how you achieved that.
Yeah. Honestly, it kind of took me by surprise to some capacity. So it was, right in the middle of the COVID era. I'd say last summer, I was like, okay, I need to go ahead and shift to something that I see working a little bit long-term. I saw there's kind of a change in the way that e-com was running. So it was more or less, you could start off doing any sort of drop shipping store. And then I was like, all right, I probably should start something that could run for at least a year to 5 years out, bare minimum. So I made a shift to a new brand, and I started real early using some of the principles I learned from BPM and did some early testing on landing pages and ad creatives and so on and so forth. And throughout those, I think it's from June to August, I got some preliminary data. It was around 20 grand in revenue. Nothing crazy in terms of profits, but just enough to cover my inventory costs initially. So then I got private label inventory from there. That took about a month to produce. And it was right in line with Q4. So I started my ads, I think October 15th. So between September and October, I was just making a bunch of creatives, reaching out to a lot of influencers. We seeded a lot of products on YouTube videos because I knew if people were seeing my ads, they would go to YouTube and search stuff up. So doing a lot of back-end work. And then once we had the ads ready to roll and inventory came in, I just launched straight up my cold campaigns, middle funnel, bottom funnel, cycle my creatives, so on and so forth. And we were able to scale up relatively quick. In January, we went to 300K. So from relaunching ads in middle of October, all the way up into January, relatively quick, with a brand new product. So all in, it's a pretty cool experience. I got to hire a few people in there as well. So it all worked out. And now we're just going to be working on another version of the product and try to propel the brand, ideally make it a market leader to some capacity. So
amazing. And what would you say to someone who's in your position right now, as you were a few years ago? And I know a lot of people rely on YouTube, and there are some good videos and channels out there, but there's too many. Like, it's hard to find the wheat from the chaff, essentially. How would you recommend someone actually progress through? Because, you know, if you're serious about e-commerce, at some point you need to follow the path of someone that's been there and done that. So what would you recommend to someone?
Yeah, so that is my biggest realization. This sounds counterintuitive, but the first thing is look at channels that don't have as many video views and subscribers. And they also technically usually have more experience as well. The people that are running these channels. So that was first thing that I knew, because the guys that are making these big claims and these big videos, they're just trying to sell something that's not really backed by too much. So that's the first way I was able to weed that out. And then secondly is, once you do find that person that does have that track record, I think Depesh, you said you've been doing this for over 20 something years.
Nearly 20, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I already knew there's something different about this. So yeah, it's more or less just finding that person that's had that track record, that knows what they're doing. They have the team to back them up as well, because there's no way you can grow something significantly without being able to delegate and have process and system behind it as well. So that's also another testament to, like, I knew this was a great group to join.
Absolutely. Really appreciate your insights. It's, you know, it's part of the journey, the mistakes that people make and some of the paths you go down that lead to dead ends, but finding the right path, it just opens up so much more opportunities. And I know you've got some really good, big plans for the next 12 months. And I look forward to seeing how that goes.
Thank you.
Cool. Awesome stuff. Thank you.